adjustments. Ooh, yeah, I think that's good. That's better. So, just to get myself in a position where I am getting. By the way, I'm Malaysia. Welcome to my channel. Um, yes, so pretty much I travel. I am obviously a black woman, black American woman, and I travel around the world as of now, probably for the next couple of years. So I do want to sort of touch bases with everybody and to sort of talk about things and have little chit chat moments and pretty much practice on, you know, actually communicating, speaking, talking on lives and stuff like that. And hopefully, not hopefully, I will get better, right? So, this live is going to be about my micro locks. I know they look like sister locks to some people, but these are micro locks. I believe I have to recount them because there's some things that was like going on in this section where I think I like kept on washing and I used conditioner, which I'm not going to use conditioner no more. And some locks came out because like this area right here is like where my hair is like the softest and the finest. So I had a while where these two sections, like my temples, was not locking properly at all. So I just came up on my second year of being fully locked, and I have some pros and I have some cons, but I feel like it's all for the better. So I'm just going to fully explain. So the when I first got my hair done, I chose to fully get interlocked, which I do suggest you do that so your hair stays consistent. Like it just really depends. Like, if you're gonna pay for it, I feel like you need to pay for what you get. With that, paying for something that you get. So my hair, um, right now is like right here because I cut it. And when I first started, my hair was like down to here. So even when you interlock it, it's going to come up a little bit. Hi, Mike. It's going to come up a little bit more. So it was like probably around here. So when I first, thank you. But when I first got my hair done and I got it locked, it got to the point where my hair was longer and it was stretched out. Hey, Rose. It was stretched out. So it does take time for your hair to actually shrink up. So when your hair shrinks up, that's when it starts to actually fully lock up. So when you know your hair is locked, you don't necessarily get like all the stretchiness. So my whole head is fully locked except for some of the ends. So my main pet peeve is if they're going to lock your hair, either you cut your hair. What do you mean by hot takes? Give me an example. Um, okay. Anyway, so when you actually, first initially get your hair done, it's going to take a while it depends on your hair texture too. So for me, it took like a year and a half for me to be fully locked overall. So after I was fully locked, it took maybe a few months after that because after I moved from the States and I first moved to Vietnam, which it was a good thing, but my hair quickly started to shrink up and lock into itself. So when it locks into itself, you have, you get like that little bunching and stuff where it gets like bigger in certain parts of the locks versus the beginning or the roots of your locks. So you start to get way more volume. So with that, you have to also take into account the loose ends that I had. So my hair, it was more the looser curl pattern. So maybe around like three, 3C, 4A for for more parts, most of my head. So they left out a lot. They didn't lock it all the way down. But even when they didn't lock it all the way down, I did have stress. So in the back of my head, it wasn't necessarily as long as all of this section here. So for me, no, they did not lock my hair all the way down. But at the same time, I should have had all of it cut to at least like maybe right here. And then you would have been, better off. But even with that, I am thinking that for the most part, when you do things like that, you also have to take into consideration that once your hair is loose at the ends, that's going to give you some problems because like you're going to either have to you're going to get some breakage because your hair is always loose. You can also your hair can also get tangled. You can also have some other things that is going on with your hair overall and is not going to be necessarily consistent. So those are things that you got to take into account. So if your hair isn't fully even and you also get like that sort of mohawky look, so you do want to have it cut as blunt as possible. So when your hair does actually fully lock and it starts to actually grow longer and actually grow down instead of out, when it's going through its bunching and locking phase. So when that happens, the transition is going to be a lot more easier instead of, okay, I need to go and lock, cut here and cut there, whatever. You don't have to worry about that. So with that, it is like pros and cons. Also, when they say wash your hair with the cleansing, whatever they tell you to wash your hair with, just wash your hair with that. Um, this part was my fault. I washed my hair with, I'm gonna have to try to look at it. It was like in a purple bottle and it had like biotin in it, but apparently it was causing women to actually lose their hair. So I'll show you where they had like, because that's pretty much where I cut it at, is where I had a bunch of that bunching. So you can see for this lock and how thick it is right here. And this is like when I first got my hair locked almost 2 years ago. So you imagine how long it could have been if I didn't actually like cut it and if they actually locked it all the way down. But it would have been probably like maybe like right here. So I ended up spending a whole bunch of money and I probably could at least maybe 1/3, maybe even paid half as much as I did, because I also was paying for 3 people to do my hair at the same time. So it's certain things that has to do with that and like all this other stuff that's going on. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the comments and stuff, and there's certain things I'm like, and I don't know if that's supposed to be like sexual in nature or something like that, but whatever. Ignorance is bliss, right? So, um, yes. So also with 450 locks, I have to, I usually do my reties. Well, I do, and I have been doing my reties myself, but I am going to start doing palm rolling in between and try to stretch it out for 3 months. I'll retouch my edges and stuff like that, but I'll just go to somebody and actually have them do the full retightening method, the 2-point rotation, and I'll actually pay someone to do that every 2 months at least to 3 months at the most, because I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I am trying to have a easy life in every aspect of the word, and if that just means that I pay out once every 3 months to get my hair retied, then I'll do it, and I'll just do the twist for overall maintenance. So my hair, I'll do the hairstyles and stuff like that. But the major pro of having my hair locked It's it's easy. I don't have to worry about having specific products. To be honest, I've learned the hard way. I don't use conditioner. I don't do any of that with the conditioner or anything that has to do with any slicking or adding extra water and stuff to my scalp, because that's something that I've also noticed is when you add, let me see if I can find it. I think it's, yeah. So it's like this hair water refresher. And to be honest, especially, I would suggest using something like this when you're somewhere like where it's cold and it's not humid, but it's just pretty much, you know, when you're sweating and stuff like that, you're going to be washing your hair more on a regular basis, so you won't necessarily need, and it gives your hair a chance to actually lock up, because a lot, yeah, you see it where it did like all that bunching. So yeah, so you do have a bunch of the bunching right there, and see where it's like the curly part. So yeah, that's the part that they was trying to like keep, but this is one of the few locks where it still is curly, because when I used that shampoo, a lot, the hair was like coming out, and now you see like that's the actual lock right there. But yeah, I mean, now that I know, you know, it is what it is. Part of me was thinking about combining locks, but when I actually look at it in person, I was like, my hair is thicker than what I thought it would be, so it won't give this super free micro lock look. Because for me, I feel like the bigger the locks get, the more heavier and just straight down, and like almost like a flatter appearance that it gives, versus from a distance it looks like, I have like a little fro out or something like that from, from a distance. Like how far you are now isn't necessarily like that far. It's not that much of a difference. But I do think that there's a lot of versatility in it. And it's like, I mean, I'm okay with some bob action, but even when you see this, it gives like it's like it's still a little bit choppy up here. So it's not giving me that full, you see it? Like right here, where it's like a little hump. It's not giving me that full curve feel and vibe. So I still gotta wait for my hair to drop. So with me waiting for my hair to drop, there's just certain things that I'm like, well, it is what it is. And I also, it is a journey. It's also believing in your hair and just living your life in your hair, giving your hair an opportunity for it to grow and flourish. And, you know, whatever your hair does, your hair has an opportunity to sort of express itself and to come into its own maturity at the end of the day. So even with that, I don't have to worry about detangling, washing goes, and literally just taking a blow dryer just to like blow dry my hair. It is easy. It's far from hard. It's not difficult. It's pretty straightforward. I don't have to go out my way to find a whole bunch of other products to put in my hair. It's pretty straightforward. With that, you also save a bunch of money. So that's another definite pro. But yeah, I think like mostly with the cons, it's how long it takes me to do a retie. I'll do reties for, it'll take me 2 days to do reties, and I'll probably literally doing my hair actively anywhere from 12 to 18 hours in a day between the 2 days. So that's exhausting, and I think maybe when I start working out again, maybe it'll be easy. But it'll be, that's why I was thinking about combining my locks because it's like, if I can just do it in a day, I will. A full day, yeah, but it's just like that second day of getting up and trying to get all the stuff in together to do it. I'm like, I don't want to do that, you know? So with that, I am happy with the overall process. Is just that I still wish that I was able to retain the length that, you know, that I initially, paid to keep. So I just wish they didn't leave my ends out and they locked it all the way down, because I could have got away with like that much more. So like maybe 5 inches or so of fully locked hair. But I think even though I did ask for it to get locked all the way down and we agreed for it to get locked all the way down, it turned into oh, it was cute. Well, it was cute. You'll probably see other videos that I've done 6 months ago, and you see that how, like, now you see it's way more volume. But I I had like the curly ends and stuff like that, and also me transferring over after my hair completely locked from braiding and banding. I was just washing my hair, and I wasn't also braiding and banding my hair. And then it got to a point that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to like detangle the curly parts of my hair. And I'm like, and like I said, it was already starting to like break off, because there's like looser pieces of hair, so they became like scraggly and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is not what I signed up for this scraggly look, trying to keep up. And then it was like certain ones like that was like longer than others, and it was just, it didn't look, to me, it didn't look good, it didn't look nice, it didn't look clean. Like I just had to do it. I had to cut everything down. So now that I'm here, I'm at the 2 year mark. I am grateful for being at the 2 year mark. But I mean, I think you get like 6 months, not 6 months, but like 6 inches of growth every year, even with some shrinkage. Yeah. So by year 3, I'm guessing that I'll be like here, and I'll be good with being like right there. Um, I didn't necessarily choose the bob life. It sort of chose me just for, I like a more cleaner look in appearance and stuff like that. And even when I see myself like on the camera, I sort of feel like, well, I don't look too, like I feel like I have sort of like a bigger face. But looking at myself in the camera, I'm like, okay, well, it's not giving that. But even with, now that I'm seeing my nails and stuff, which is so cute. Yellow's my favorite color. But I love some long nails, and trying to do a retie with long nails is just ain't, it's not it. Cause like I said, I am putting it in, and that's just gonna be something that I do, is just put that money in to get my hair retied or whatever. Even if I have to, you know, country hop, like I will adjust my time on what country I go to and when I go so I can get my hair retied, because I can't, I, not like I can't, I just don't want to. I don't want to have my hands up in the air for like 48 hours, more or less. So, yeah, those are my pros, mostly pros. And there are some cons. Like if you're going to get your hair done, and especially if you're going to get them to interlock it with your first installation, you have to first check your own hair, see that everything is even, seeing that all the layers, like any extra breakage, if there's any dips, like some people have like the dips or whatever in the the back of their head. You gotta understand it. You gotta understand it and see how you're gonna go from there. Um, but be cautious, because the shorter your hair is, the cheaper it's gonna be. I'm not saying to hack all your hair off, but you need to make sure that you understand there is going to be some shrinkage overall. but definitely do what's best for you, because you don't want to pay to get your hair locked and then you're going to have to cut it later like I did because they left the ends off and you're still getting charged for that length of hair at the end of the day. Yeah. So make sure you do that. Make sure that you stay consistent with what they tell you to wash your hair with. Do that. It's not hard. Don't get no conditioner. Don't do nothing. I listened to everything. It's just that it wasn't even like a moisturizing conditioner. I was just like, oh, I want my hair to be thicker. Like I wanted this, you know. And I really believed in my hearts of hearts. And like I said, that's on me. I believe in my hearts and hearts that my hair was more on the thin side instead of my hair follicles being fine. I have high density hair, but I have fine hair follicles. Like my hair follicles are really thin, but I have a whole bunch of it. It's highly concentrated. So even with that, that is for me to take responsibility for. That's why I was like, I didn't necessarily choose the bob life. The bob life chose me, but we're here now. Okay. And all we can do is learn from that and keep it moving. So this is my 2-year lock anniversary, and hopefully you guys like this live. I'm gonna keep on doing these as much as I feel like it's okay to do them, so I can at least get this information out, and hopefully it will help people and also give you guys like a glimpse into my personality and also into my life and my lifestyle. I am in Osaka. Right now I'm in like my small hotel room. So I just, yeah, I'm living a life. I'm sort of debating if I'm gonna go out and go to the bar and go to do some drinking. Like I just did some drinking, but it was a situation that happened. What in the freak? Um, I think I met like, or I think I came across a male gigolo. So so I don't know what, I don't know, like because it's like a completely different culture, so I don't want to say what I like. I mean, I just said what I thought it was. I'm not gonna say that's what it was. I gotta go and ask some people like what are some things culturally and what is happening culturally, because there's certain things that I'm not Japanese, I don't understand, certain things. But I'll probably do a story time or more private things like that. I'll probably talk about that later, because I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl, and I'm just trying to figure it out one day at a time. But thank you for everybody that watched. I would thank you for all the comments, but I don't necessarily know what some of this stuff means, and I'm not gonna tell you I'm not gonna tell you thank you if you're insulting me or trying to be sexual. But other than that, thank you. Like, subscribe. Also, for anybody that's watching the replay or the playback, for anybody that's watching, if you have any questions that you want me to answer about my hair, my lifestyle, traveling, anything of the sort, just let me know. And yeah, I think that'll be a good place to start. So at least I can start answering people's questions. So thank you. Bye.